Perhaps if you ask the world or even the Malagasy people who is Colonel Mikhail Randrianirna, nobody would have said nothing. But on October 11, all of this changed as Colonel Mikhail Randrianirna joined the Gen Z protest in Madagascar and said the military will not obey anymore from or take any command from the times existing government led by Randrianina. Now, this is a time also the previous president, decided to exile or to evacuate himself from the country. Now, we are going to talk about in this video who is the new president of Madagascar, known as Colonel Mikhail Randrianirna. Okay, I'm trying to master this as I go through. Okay, bear with me. Well, now he is a long discreet officer of the CAPSAT camp, which is an acronym of this elite military unit, which stands for, meaning CAPSAT, Autonomous Corps of Personnel and Administrative and Technical Services. So Colonel Mikhail Randrianirna is 51 years old, emerged in a few days in October 2025, to be exact, on October 11, 2025, as a player in the political shift in Madagascar. Now, he declared, talking to or addressing the nation, this is what he said: "This is not a coup d'etat. It is a taking of responsibility." It sounds like this is not a coup d'etat, this is a revolution, kind of, right? Well, we will see. Now, the African Union has also released a statement saying banning Madagascar, I think temporarily, from its membership from the Union. The new president of Madagascar, now let's stick to the first topic, bringing you who is this new president. He has also suspended key public institutions and said it could take up to 2 years to hold election, to set up a new government. And he also added his unit and the military, and also together with civil government, will lead for the next 2 years. So I don't know exactly in parallel which civil government he's talking about, but the election will be held in 2 years, okay? Now, I'm gonna stick to this article as I put this video for you, reading who is this Colonel Randrianirna for you, okay? This is when he joined for the first time the public. Randrianirna's sudden ascent began on Saturday, on 11 October, when as the head of Madagascar's elite CAPSAT army unit, he drove with his troops into the center of the capital city, joining thousands of protesters who have long been demanding the president's resignation. This is him. Let's see what he says.
In the nation's political landscape. According to the ruling issued by the High Constitutional Court, I am taking the position of president. These friends of mine are with me. There must be an oath-taking. Razuel has denounced the power grab as an illegal coup. Randrianirna says the military will swiftly name a new prime minister to form a government though no timeline has been given. We had to take responsibility yesterday because there is nothing left in the country. No president in the Senate, no government. Madagascar is a dying country. We must take responsibility as citizens and patriots. The crisis escalated when the colonel and his elite units joined protesters demanding Razuel's resignation, forcing the president to flee. Razuel, in power since 2018, says he went into hiding, fearing his life after the military rebellion.
Yeah, so that is what you saw, what you have listened about. So he was speaking in Malagasy language. I will tell you a quick story. The BBC was asking him telling him he's free to answer the questions in French. And he said there is no need, or he doesn't take a pride speaking in colonial language. Why don't I talk about in my own language, which is Malagasy? And this is how he answered in his own language. Okay, now going or diving into the article of who is this man, let's continue. After Randrianirna, the one who exiled now the country, eventually fled the city, and member of parliament voted to impeach him. The 51-year-old Randrianirna stood in front of the vacant presidential palace and informed the world's media that CAPSAT, this elite military unit, was taking over. The Constitutional Court then declared that he was the country's new ruler, even though due to ousted president still insists that he remains in charge. Let me quickly reflect here. I mean, this is kind of the same technique where exiled presidents for few days or probably months continue to say that they are still the one who are elected and the governments legally. But, this doesn't work. We all know he's not going to make a comeback, which history has shown us before that an exiled president is coming back. Perhaps, maybe when there's another president and they might allow him to come, but there's no way unless there is a miracle. Well, now the Constitutional Court then declared that he was the country's new ruler, meaning Colonel Randrianina, even though the ousted president still insists he remains in charge. Now, the new president carries a rare air of mystery, BBC says. For the leader of the country's most powerful military unit, there is not much information about him in the public domain. So what does BBC mean by this? If you Google Colonel Randrianirna's name now, you wouldn't see nothing except, telling you where he was born and probably some stories that have emerged after his ascent to presidency, which is just a couple of days ago. Now, what do we know that is? He was born in Sevo-Hipoti, a village in the southern Androy region. He later became the government of Androy, serving between 2016 to 2018 under the former president. He was a vocal critic of the exiled president Randrianirna, an entrepreneur who took power via a coup in 2009, stepped down in 2013, and then returned 5 years later after winning election. Again, a quick information. The one exiled, Randrianirna, came to power in 2009, that's 16 years ago, through the help of the same military unit, CAPSAT. So it's like interesting, the same way, the same group or unit that helped Randrianirna took him to power is taking him down. And this CAPSAT unit is playing a major role. And this is why analysts are saying that the same cycle will keep on happening in Madagascar, meaning CAPSAT, bringing people to power and then taking them down. Even if there is an election after 2 years, CAPSAT, either they will, all of a sudden, Colonel Randrianina will turn himself into a civil president, throw away his military uniform and come back with suits, just like what the new president of Gabon did after the coup d'etat, okay, and many others actually. So that's what happens. Even if he is not the president, then CAPSAT will make sure that there will be the next president after 2 years. If there is an election, then the next president will be in support of CAPSAT. CAPSAT has a reason. We talked about this in our last video, meaning, I'm going to pin it for you if you like. How CAPSAT is, playing a role, and then what are the impacts of it bringing people to power and then taking them down, how this will affect the country. Okay, now again, continuing on this story. The student groups, fellow soldiers and politicians were among those who argued Randrianirna had been imprisoned for unfair political reasons, and he was released in February the following year. He was imprisoned in 2023, in November 2023, and then he was accused of inciting a mutiny and planning a coup. But then in 2024, he was released. So he said, actually, when he was asked by BBC, he is a mere servant of the people, meaning the Madagascar people, and he exuded charm, hospitality, confidence, but not arrogance. Those are his words. Also, this colonel is known as to be a staunch Christian. So Malagasy journalist Rivonala Razafison describes him as simple but tough, straightforward, and patriotic. So Randrianirna certainly has thoughts about his country and how it is still influenced by France, which was Madagascar's, previous colonial master until 1960. And the story, what I told you before, when offered to answer the questions from BBC in French, he said, quote, "Why can't I speak in my language, Malagasy?" Meaning, saying that he does not like glorifying the colonial language or tongue. The CAPSAT leader has told local media that moving forward, his priority is social welfare, which is a pressing issue in the country, and where 75% of the people are considered to live below the poverty line. Also now the African Union has released a statement. I'm trying to get you that in a minute. Hopefully I can find it. Honestly, talking. Yeah, I was trying to find for you the statement from the African Union. I mean, this is really has no use. They always do this, but it has no really that serious effect. But let me just share with you. Bear with me, the statement from the African Union. The chairperson of the African Union. Okay, let me just correct that. So a statement by the chairperson of the African Union Commission on the situation in the Republic of Madagascar. It was on October 12th. it reads like this. The chairperson of the African Union Commission, Mohamed Ali Yusuf, is following with deep concern the recent political and security developments in the Republic of Madagascar, marked by movements within the army and popular demonstrations in Antananarivo. The chairperson of the commission welcomes the government's renewed commitment to dialogue and urges all Malagasy stakeholders, both civilian and military, to exercise calm and restraint and to prioritize peaceful and consensual solutions to the current situation. He calls for the full respect of the fundamental rights and freedom of all citizens. The chairperson recalls the principles enshrined in the Lomé Declaration of 2000 and in the African blah, blah, blah. Now, he calls all Malagasy parties to demonstrate responsibility and patriotism and to work towards the preservation of unity, stability, and peace in the country in full respect of the constitution, Okay. So the chairperson affirms the solidarity of the African Union with the people and government of Madagascar in these difficult times and expresses the readiness of the continental organization to support national and regional efforts aimed at the rapid return to institutional normalcy, stability, and the consideration of peace. Well, now, Madagascar is considered to be in the eastern part of the eastern bloc of the continent. So we haven't seen any statement from the Eastern African community. I think that will be relevant as, most of the times these regional blocs appears to be more stronger, harsher, saying things straightforward than the African Union. The African Union tries to be more politically correct. I mean, also the regional blocs, but a little bit, there is a slight difference. But it's interesting, when the chairperson of the African Union said in that statement, that the African Union is in solidarity with the people and the government. I don't know where that line is drawn. Because the people right now, they didn't have any, we talked about also in our previous video, this Gen Z protest, one of its major problem is that they have no aims and goals. It's just people are on the street. You can see that this is some kind of a rush thing, or there's someone behind it already with an agenda. As I said before, my speculation is that it's probably the military itself, this CAPSAT, that pushed the Gen Z to go out on the street because they don't have any leader. Now, all of a sudden, they are the one who sacrificed their lives. Dozens of people have been killed in this protest. And then it's another unit who is taking the power. I mean, are all their requests going to be fulfilled? No. Definitely no. It started with the power outage, and then other lack of public services, and then of course the poverty, the corruption in the country. Is it going to be fixed by this military unit? Definitely no. No. They might say after 2 years, give us time, or they might tell you 5 years. Just assume themselves as a president, even without holding an election. This is not new. If they're really doing good to the Madagascar people, no problem. But if they're not fulfilling and they're not just there, they're just there for power, then that's where, we start, or we have to question this Gen Z protests. Somebody is taking an advantage of them. The same thing happened in Kenya as well. That's the thing, because why I say this is that because the previous president, the one who was evacuated almost a week ago, he tried after, because he knew that this CAPSAT elite military unit, that it has how much power it has, the entrepreneurs, political parties, it has so many hands. So he tried to put his loyalties to other parts of the military. And this is when CAPSAT started to be against him. and worked to throw him down, and which they have succeeded under the expense of the Gen Z lives. This is where my problem is. So these people are not real. They're just there for power, to make sure that now when they know that somebody they put as a puppet is trying to diversify his loyalties to other parts of the military, they're saying, no, it should be only us. And they're just taking the power. So the same way they brought Randrianirna, they will bring also another one. I mean, I really, really wish if there is any Malagasy people there, please contact us and we would like to hear from you. And that was it for now. Thank you very much for tuning, and let us know in the comment section, what do you think of the CAPSAT coming to power, how they come, and announcing that for 2 years, it's only after 2 years there will be an election. I'm not a big supporter of election, as you know me. I fully support what happened in the Sahel states, but that was a people support. They have got the back of their people. And also let us know in the comment section, what do you think of the statement from the African Union. That was it for now. Thank you very much again for tuning in. Please support us, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, give it a like if you find this information is relevant to you, and share the video. Do not keep information and knowledge only to yourself. That way you can help us. That was it. Ciao, ciao.